is that if I'm doing a 4-hour show about horrible, terrible, disgusting, bad things, 4 hours straight of, let's say I did 4 hours straight of sexual assaults, serial kill, the worst, terrible, most horrific crimes. And also, you guys probably notice that I don't do that. I talk about mostly stuff that's correlated to trauma because I have PTSD and I love to talk about trauma. I bet you a lot of people in here have PTSD. Look, they told us back in the day that it was war veterans and everything else they had. It took me a long time to cope with the fact that I had CPTSD and to get trauma help, right? That's why I say all the time. I say that your pain is a gift that nobody can give to you or take away from you. Like, nobody can, like, give you that same experience and that knowledge and everything. I try to think of it that way because bad things have already happened, and where do we go from now? So what I like to do is take stories of those people and help you guys connect to it. If I'm constantly talking about everything horrible, people will not be here. It's hard to digest. 4 hours of brutal, like, discuss and me in a somber tone, like, because other people are virtue signaling. No, part of the reason I talk about these things in this tone is to make it more accessible for you so more people can learn from the mistakes of others. And I stand by that, right? I may not always get it right, and who knows? Maybe in a couple years there's going to be a clip or something that people are like, well, that wasn't great, but that's where my head's at, and I believe in that. Historically, people have done things like touring houses of vicious crimes, taking pieces of it and the victim, and there's plays, musicals made about crimes, People have always been fascinated by crime and will continue to be. Oh, so if you've ever been asked, why do you like true crime? Just say everybody does. The more gruesome, the better. The very act of consuming true crime content comes with a certain amount of exploitation and voyeurism. So I think the context is important with situations like this. A little humor to break the tension isn't unreasonable. Yo, amen to this guy. Let's see what other people said. This person said, if I ever get murdered, I hope to God I make it on a comedy podcast and they mock my killer relentless. I feel that same way too. All right, that's it. We're doing the roast of Amy Bishop. Yes. In fact, I'm gonna put that in my will. Can I put that in my will? I don't think I've ever listened to a single episode where a podcast host mocked a victim. I did see some people during the JCS boom that were talking about victims saying like, oh, that was stupid, or they shouldn't have done that. I didn't love that, but honestly, that's all I've heard. I've never heard of anyone mocking a victim and then like just trying to monetize a whole podcast. You know what I mean? As with all comedy, context is important, but more important is what is being made fun of. I find Last Podcast on the Left does a good job of knocking a lot so-called genius-level serial killers off the pedestals they've been placed on. That's what we do too. I just got so happy. Kemper and Bundy in particular are made fun of relentlessly. They also shine a light on the massive incompetence of police investigations. And yeah, I think true crime also helps a lot of people that have anxiety, that are worried about things, because you learn a lot about human psychology and dangerous people that you would look out for. So I find that a lot of people with high anxiety that are always doing like risk assessments really like it. Almost all conversation of true crime is exploitive by nature. The media, of course, fuels it, but it's only because we're the ones tuning in. True crime and anything odd and gruesome will always be popular. It's almost like rubbernecking, and we can listen to it as long as we feel like we're in a safe and comfy place, probably why it's so popular with certain demographics. Do you guys feel like you're in a safe and comfy place? I hope so. But yeah, I just stumbled on that Reddit post. I thought it would be really interesting for us to chat about. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts.